here, make sure it propagates.
Okay, good.
I never know how to find exactly the live streaming link. Here it is, though. That'll do. There might be.
I never know how to find
Okay, all right. Enough of that. And all right. Okay. Cool. That's up. And we can go ahead and get started. Hi, everybody. Thanks for putting up with us doing a little bit of housekeeping while we've already gone live, but we're really glad you're here today and really excited to be sharing the 7th Gimbalabs weekly update. Our agenda is the same as always. We like to start with some shout outs, talk a little bit about what we've done and our next steps, and then to suggest some next steps to you. But before we get to these steps this week, I think all of us should probably introduce ourselves. First of all, we've got our newest Gimbalabs leadership team member, Kyle Johns. Yay!
Yay!
Do you want to introduce yourself a little bit?
Yeah, sure. My name is Kyle Johns. Really, I've been working with Roberto for quite a while on the Lyft wallet and doing the stake pool stuff and just kind of getting myself immersed in the Cardano community. And Gimbalabs naturally just sucked me right in, and it's just kind of been a very welcoming culture, and I'm super happy to be here, guys.
We too.
We couldn't be happier to have you. And not only are you building and did we pull you into what we're doing, but you've already just been paying it forward. The number of people you've been supporting, it's just been so inspiring to watch, and you make me want to do a better job. So really quickly, for the rest of us, I know that there's some new folks joining us today. My name is James. I'm one of the co-founders. Roberto, Julie, do you want to say a word?
Yeah, my name is Juliane, as well, one of the co-founders. Right from the first hour, we all met. So, yeah, with heart and soul, totally Gimbalabs.
And I'm Roberto RC Morano. It's my AKI, Telegram, Discord. I'm the infrastructure guy on Gimbalabs, the one behind Data Lion endpoints and so on.
So we want to be as approachable as possible and really invite people to get involved. And a lot of people do. So we wanted to share a few shout outs for this week. So first of all, to our new friend Sosha, who among other things, jumped into a meeting on Tuesday that had a lightly structured agenda. And in the moment I asked, "Hey Sosha, can you facilitate this meeting?" He said, "Okay, sure." And just was able to so masterfully orchestrate a group of people to achieve a goal. We were all just sitting in awe of what you did, and we really, really appreciate that. And I promise to better prepare you for those meetings in the future. But we're so glad that you're here.
Yeah, and so I'll take the second one, right? Lissandro, he's a Lyft wallet contributor. He was, just kind of came out of the blue one day, and he has always been a super helpful asset to that wallet. And he's been putting a lot of work in optimizing the front end. So taking a lot of my spaghetti code and really making a lot of sense of it. So when, new developers are coming on board, trying to really dig in on how to build a wallet, it's going to be a little bit more structured for everybody, to really appreciate all the work he's putting in.
Yeah, absolutely. Lissandro is so great. We also want to shout out Steve Aldrich, the new Catalyst leadership member. Thanks for inviting us. Also, thanks Dor for inviting us to present on this week's Catalyst Town Hall. It's been awesome how we got many many people joining us on our Discord and getting to know us and searching for their place on Cardano. It's been an awesome experience since then.
Yeah, and obviously to everyone a shout out who stuck around on Wednesday after town hall to join just us after a quick meeting, Gimbal Lab Meets community. I think we had some kind of like 15, 20 people looking around, and that was just great. We love really these connecting, these connection points, having open discussions, and really encourage you to onboard wherever you come from with whatever background you come. So everybody is actually welcome. And yeah, and everybody who joined us in the community in Discord, I think we're growing fast, and we see things are getting things are accelerating, and we are grateful for that, because this just means we are creating more stuff together, creating value, and creating together a meaningful experience to all of us.
Oh, well said, Julie. Yeah, and I mean, we're here in this that we call it, I guess, the cryptocurrency space, the blockchain space, Cardano, whatever. But yeah, the word currency floats around a lot, and we want people to be the main currency. We want you and what you can do to do as much as you possibly can, and that's we'll talk more about that in just a minute. Before that larger message, we want to do this part where we share a few things about what we've accomplished this week before we come back to that bigger picture. Kyle, do you want to kick this part off?
Yeah. So I guess it was like last weekend. I was able to really dig in and get some progress done on my Fund 3 proposal for Cardano Sharp, which is a .NET library bringing wallet functionality and signing transactions to .NET developers. So part of that is implementing Bit32, and that is underway. We're making progress. By all means, jump on Coding on Chain Discord if you want to get updates or even help out. I mean, yeah, it'll be open source, so definitely going to have plenty of time to dig in and get that moving along. I know there's a lot of .NET devs out there who want something like this, and by no means am I the person to dictate how we do this, but I want to be that catalyst, not to use that word, but to use that word, to jumpstart just another one of my passions of .NET, and I think .NET and Cardano are going to be great together. So I have no problem if it's just starting the road, and everyone else can help me pave it. But yeah,
awesome.
Roberto, you can take. Yeah, okay, sure. So yesterday, me and Roberto, we jumped on the Coding on Chain stream, and we wrapped up registering our your staking keys, and we are right on the verge of actually delegating. Got a few more bugs to work out, but I think we're right there. And the next step really is multi-delegation. So I mean, we're really just not about showing people just how to do the basics, but we want to really tinker, right? Everyone wants multi-delegation, and following what the other wallets are doing, we can definitely help paint that picture for everybody. Like, what are they doing? And with developers out there who are going to be needing wallet capabilities in many different forms, I think Glyph Wallet and what we're trying to show people is going to be a pretty nice asset, at least something for others to reference, not just the big three wallets out there. Glyph Wallet be where you go and break stuff. So
right. It's been a lot of fun. Also, we've set up peertube.gimbalabs.com. It's our audiovisual content archive for the content we are creating under Gimbal Labs YouTube channel and Coding on Chain channel. We want to take ownership of our data. It's part of the of the journey of decentralization. You take ownership of your staff and build in a decentralized way without relying on centralized authorities that can censor you or take your content down. So yeah, we are backing up all the stuff on this unpublished platform. Stay tuned to know more.
Roberto, thanks for pushing that. Yeah, because you've taught me so much already about how it's about so much more than a given blockchain that we happen to be focused on, but it's about the whole broader mission. And thank you for carrying that torch. Speaking of tools, CSK Cardano Starter Kit number 6 was published this week. Targeted look at just a couple of things you can do with metadata. And so just to say a word about where starter kits fit in with coding on chain, the idea is for a CSK to give everyone just an entry point, an idea of some of the technology behind these much bigger systems that are rolling out right now. A CSK is not going to make you an expert, but hopefully it's going to give you just enough insight to have a nudge in the right direction and to be able to identify your next steps, whatever they are. One great next step is to join Roberto and Kyle, for example, with some coding on chain videos to go in and really start tinkering or hacking. And what I ask is, if you do look at one of the starter kits and it doesn't make you feel like you know what to do next, like you're not sure what to do next, tell me, because I want to improve on that. Okay, my goal is really the way I'm measuring success with these things is whether or not they help people figure out how they can get better involved. Okay, so that's a group mission. I have hypotheses about how to do it, but you got to keep in mind, when I make a starter kit, I'm basically talking how I wish somebody would talk to me, and that might not be how you want to be talked to, right? So make sure to be in touch if you would say it differently, or if you even want to participate in creating those. Another thing we've spent a lot of time on for all of the last few weeks is just supporting other Catalyst proposers, either by giving feedback, having one-on-one meetings. Farouk, I see you in the chat. Hello, hello, hello back. We're so proud of you guys to get the SoMint proposal off the ground. It's been really, really fun. I feel like you guys have helped us as much as we've helped you. And we're just really excited to keep growing alongside of you. Finally, we'll say more about this in just a minute too. We've really started to onboard people who are really special to us, developers who are experienced in building, whether it's full stack, back end, or front end, but you might be new to blockchain. We know that all of you are the people who are going to create some of the most important solutions that we're going to see over the next few years. And we're so excited that you're starting to show up. And yeah, so we're going to have a meeting late tonight. I don't know if Europe is still going to be awake, but at least here in the States, we're going to have a chill Friday night, kind of talking through some of those questions from developers. And then next week, we continue on with our first playground sprint. So I want to talk more about that playground sprint and some other things for just a minute. We formed Gimbalabs because, first and foremost, we're just curious, right? We have this hunch that Cardano is really going to change the world, that decentralized and distributed movements are the way the world is going, and are the best pathway into the world we want to see. And we recognized that in order to learn as much as possible about how to achieve those goals, we need each other. We need a team to be on so we can lean on each other, use each other's skills. The more people you have around you to ask questions, the more you're going to learn. And because we want to build things, it's fully self-serving why we started Gimbalabs, right? We want a space to do as much as we want to do the things that we want to do. And our assumption is that you want a space to do the same, okay? And so I talked about autonomy at Town Hall on Wednesday. And I just want to reiterate, one of our core values is for anybody who shows up to keep as much autonomy as possible. We want you to own your work and your time and your ideas. And when those ideas and when the things you produce are beneficial to somebody else, we want you to have a place to share them if you want to. And when you need help, we want you to have a place to come to get that support. But at the end of the day, for me, this entire decentralized movement is all about ensuring that we can all just have a healthier relationship to the systems around us, so we have more time to do the things we want, to spend with our families, that kind of thing. Okay, so we hope that Gimbalabs can produce systems that will give you the entry point to take your ideas as far as possible. And we hope that even as you're contributing to something much bigger than you, you're also remaining you, and keeping ownership of yourself. Okay, this is hard work, and our community grew kind of quickly this week, which is thrilling. We're so excited about it. But our systems are not fully built yet. Okay, so we ask you to participate. The one thing we just did today is posted a public calendar for the first time. This was overdue. We should have done it probably a few weeks ago, but it's up now at the URL that you see on the screen. And we're going to do our best to make sure that events are posted there. If you want access to this calendar so you can post events, just let me know, okay? Or just find one of the four of us in the chat. We'll add you. And we want to make sure that this calendar makes it really clear to everybody what's going on. So if you want to get involved, you can. We launched Gimbalabs initiatives a few weeks ago because we wanted a few projects to take root, and because we wanted to learn how to run a distributed and decentralized organization. Those first two initiatives are underway. The video one is off and running. Farouk, I know you're on that. Matt's been essential on that. And it's a real dream come true for all of us as leaders to see you guys becoming leaders in the space as well. So thank you so much for your initiative there. We are so pumped to see what starts to roll out. And as always, you being in charge, just tell us what you need help with, okay? Just make sure that you keep in touch and let us know how we can support. The other initiative was about incentive structures. This is big, hard work, but it's not stopped. We had to kind of reconfigure how we're thinking about that project. So there's more to come on that. And hey, Juan, I see you in the chat as well. We're going to launch initiative number 3 as soon as we're ready. All right. We want to make sure that plans are sound and that we iterate on what we've already done. So the original plan was to launch 2 new initiatives starting next week. There's no need to pour more projects on the pile right now. So let's work together to get the 3rd initiative right. It's going to be about translating content from English into Spanish, and then to build systems so that we can have additional languages beyond that. But we're not in a hurry to make sure that launches on Monday just because we said so. We want to make sure that we get the parameters right. So hoping to have something to share about that early next week. And similarly, the playground, this is where our new devs are coming to join us, okay? What we want to do is build tools that are useful within Gimbalabs and anything we might be building here, but also to start building out our open source public library for anybody to come and to use, right? And so if you can imagine this, we're going to have tools, and then we're going to have all sorts of content to help you learn how to use those tools. When we make something, I'll make a starter kit about it. Heck, maybe you'll make a starter kit about it if you're watching this and want to contribute now. We'll make sure to talk about that stuff in Coding on Chain videos. And if you have other ideas for how to talk about that stuff, please make sure to share. So I just wanted to like take a moment to share about our commitment. We are really pumped that you're here, and we know that we're not delivering on every promise yet. But I invite you to get involved with these initiatives so far, and to push us. Make sure to hold us accountable when you need help understanding something better. Make sure that we hear about it, and let's work together to make sure this happens. So when it comes to next steps, one of my primary focuses next week is to make sure that these processes and systems are clear on gimbalabs.com. So anybody who's reading this, if you take a look at that site over the weekend or next week, and there's something that you think we should do differently there, hop into the Discord and tell us, okay? With Gimbalabs Playground, we've started building a team to build these tools. Can't wait to share more. But we just want to make sure that we're elucidating our project correctly. So look forward to hearing more about that over the next few weeks. Kyle, I'll hand it off to you.
Yeah, so next week, on Coding on Chain, me and Roberto will jump right back into getting delegation working. We may or may not actually have already completed the fixing the bug that we kind of ended with, because I think it'd be really interesting to really jump in and start explaining multi-delegation, and really take on that tinkering role. And again, let's try to break things and then put them back together.
Yeah. And finally, Juan and Cole, you got tokens coming your way. It's actually the main reason we didn't do this yet is we want to make sure that those tokens are officially registered, right? So we just want to make sure to do the steps right. We could print something that's kind of like half official and send it your way, but we want to make sure that it's something that you can actually see in Daedalus. So Roberto, any words about that?
Yeah, it's not about bloating the chain. It's about, with tokens that are meaningless, we really want to make these tokens useful for something. So yeah, stay tuned. You will get some gift in your wallets.
Very excited to make those. That'll be fun. So we like to end with your next steps. Okay. So over the next few days, if you did hop into Discord and you've been starting to get a handle on what's going on, introduce yourself, and in particular, if there's something specific that you could use help on, whether it's from other people just building a team, if you have an idea, but there's some kind of knowledge that you need in order to accomplish it, we encourage you to just ask a specific question over, next week, and, find your people, find the people that are going to help you accomplish the things you want to know or teach you the things that you want to know about. So we hope to see you there. As always, we appreciate everybody for hanging out. And if you are watching on YouTube right now, yeah, Juan, they're coming your way. Is it easy for me to post this? Still learning. Juan Sierra, token holder. A lot more on Gimbal tokens to come. We're never going to do an ICO, never. Okay. But we do believe that there's a lot of things tokens can do to kind of support an ecosystem. So a lot more to come on that. That's one of the initiatives that we're working on. Anybody have any questions? Feel free to pop them in right now before we close out. So glad you're here. All right. No, Juan, if we hear about you selling those things, Juan says, not for sale. That's exactly right. No, it's so much more than that. And thanks, Slice Keeper. Yeah, we agree. There's a lot of what's the blockchain version of bootstrapping, right? We might need a word for non-ICOing. Matt, thanks for hanging out, man. Thanks for everything you do. All right.
Thank you all.
Yeah. All right, all right. Well, hey, happy almost weekend, depending on where you are. We appreciate you, and we're really excited to be on this journey with you. Block strapping. This is the block strapping episode. All right, everybody. Hey, see you real soon, and have a good one.